this is your first time here, welcome to WAEofFishing, the most random fishing channel on YouTube. This video is, as promised, this is a product video. So I need to, I've got some apologies because this video is really late coming out, and I promised Scott, who you'll see in the video, that I'd get this video out sooner. So sorry, Scott, but real quick, where have I been? So I'm a dad, not a YouTuber who can commit too much time to what I'm doing, so I've got to fit everything in. But Fishing Kid 06 just finished his basketball season. He fishes, he's almost a second-degree black belt, and he plays basketball. So they made it to championship, double round elimination. They got knocked out the other day, so that's over, so I'm getting a little bit of free time. So bear with me. Appreciate all of you guys for being here. So what this is I was at the Fishing Expo back in January, and I ran across something that's really unique. You guys, if you've watched the channel for a while, you know I'm a big finesse fisherman. To me, part of finesse is it's not just small baits and light lines and sensitive rods. A lot of times finesse is being different. So a lot of the baits I use for finesse are not off-the-shelf baits. So I have a lot of small companies that do hand pours, I've got one company, I'll do a video on them later, and he'll do a custom color. So I asked him for a custom color, and he absolutely knocked it out of the park. But finesse is different. It's not always teeny tiny. Sometimes it's just different, presented in a different manner. So as I walked through the Fishing Expo back in January, there was one thing that caught my attention, and it was Nikko Lures or Nikko Baits. So this video is to introduce you guys to Nikko and what they have. So here's one of the baits here. I'm gonna try to show it to you. I have no idea if it's going to actually, if you can actually see that in the camera, if you can appreciate that. Look how small this thing is. So this thing is probably, I don't know, the width of a 5/0 flipping hook. So it's the width of a 5/0 flipping hook. It's about 1.75 inches long, and I mean, it's absolutely killer. Thinking about hanging this underneath a bobber for Fishing Kid 06 for brim fishing, or jigging it on the bottom for ring perch or something, like, it's just crazy. There's a bunch of other ones, and I'll link the website below, and I'll put Scott Barrett, who you'll see in the video, I'll put his email address and all in there. He's the only US distributor of these lures. And this is a Nikko worm, and you can see, of course, me and my Japanese, this whole package is in Japanese. So, of course, that's a bonus for me. But real quick, Scott gave me some information, and just to make sure that I presented all of the information that you need to know about these lures. I'm going to read it off of my phone, so because it's a lot. So some of the things that Scott wants me to make sure you guys know is that they're going to save you money. Yeah, they're more expensive up front, but they will last a long time. So most of these baits, he says he can go 100 catches on one bait. As long as he doesn't snag it, he can catch 100 fish on one bait. So when you look at the cost, it's about $1. If you spend $1 for Nikko baits, that's the equivalent of you spending about 20 bucks for Senkos. Senko, you catch a fish, it's usually gone. You catch a fish, it's ripped up beyond belief. These are, when he was showing them to me, these are as stretchy as that Elastec material. That's Strike King had it, and Z-Man, I believe. But it's as stretchy as that. But the difference is, this is biodegradable. This is food grade. This won't hurt anything, but it's that stretchy. And it's super buoyant, which you'll see in the video too. The baits are scented. The scent is built in. And over time, if the scent goes down, what they tell you to do is actually stretch them. And I guess you kind of open up the material and the scent reactivates. You can use a scent if you wish, but you don't need to spend money on scents with these baits. You don't need to buy a whole bunch of them because, again, these are going to last. If you look, there's not a lot in here, but if you're catching 100 fish per bait, there's 6 baits in here. You catch 600, 700, 800 fish on one bait. They're totally environmentally friendly, and the baits will degrade in the environment. They won't degrade in 90 days or anything like that, but it's not 500 years either. So instead of most baits are pretty much fully degrade 3 to 10 years. There's a lot of videos. I think one rod did it where he went to clean up the river and he pulled out worms that had expanded to like 6, 7, 10 times their normal size, just swelling up. I've seen videos of people pulling Senkos out of fish that are protruding halfway and the fish is almost dying and that sort of thing. So that addresses those types of concerns also. Animals can disgorge or pass the baits, and if not, they'll remain soft and not harm the fish's chance of survival because they won't swell up in their digestive system. And you'll see in the video that the baits float. They float just as good as Elastec. That's what the second thing I noticed when I was at the booth. First of all, when I walked up, I saw the Japanese stuff and I saw a bunch of packages, and that drew me in. Okay, again, my finesse-minded self. But he had a tank set up. They float just like Elastec. So you could throw them out on a weightless hook and fish them on the surface. If you're fishing them on a shaky head, they'll stand straight up. Lightweight applications, drop shot applications, they're going to have a lot of movement. So the one thing about these baits that I found really intriguing, Nikko, if you look at the Daiwa and Shimano stuff, like you go and look and they've got squids and all that sort of stuff, this is the company that actually molds and makes them. So Daiwa and Shimano are marketing them, but they're Nikko's baits, but they're sold under Shimano. I'm a raving Shimano lunatic. First of all, everybody knows this. I would use Shimano. They'll never give me a sponsorship. They've stopped sponsoring anybody nationally and all that. I don't care. My first reel ever was a Shimano, and I still have them to this day. So you'll see these videos, these baits, excuse me. You're going to see these baits in a lot of my videos going forward. I really am excited to try them out. I really think that this bait is it's really going to push some of my fishing to another level. And I am not sponsored. I did not pick up a sponsorship. These were two individuals. I met Scott and his wife. They're actually from Virginia, and they had Japanese stuff, and I'm a big Japanese fishing fan. And he's a genuine guy. He's a really nice guy, really passionate about what he does, and I really enjoyed hanging out with him. And I wanted to do the video to kind of help him. I'm pretty selfless. I'm not sponsored by anybody. I'm definitely not sponsored by Shimano. I'm not sponsored by any of the other custom baits that I use or anything. But if I like the bait, if I like the person, if I feel like I could help someone out, then I'm going to do that. So I'm not in it for the money. I'm in it for the life, because this is my life. So, wow. Uh-oh. What was this?
The fly larvae.
So this is a Japanese panfish bait.
Panfish, ice fishing, trout.
I gave up on them trout. I bought a $20 trout license, and I can't catch a stock trout in a pond.
Okay, the first mistake. If you want to catch stock trout, go to a creek. Find a creek really good. Now around here it's going to be tough. You got to travel a little bit.
Yeah, they put them in the park, but I think the cormorants ate them all. I can't catch them.
I can't catch stock trout in the pond either. You put a stock trout in the creek. Oh, I can slay them. Oop.
What's the deal with those flat ones on the other side of this post?
All right. Well, the deal is that you need to buy a bunch. No, these are squid strips. They were designed to just be used like cut bait. They're scented with squid. They float. They're very durable. They stretch. They last a long time. And
so like a trailer for a flounder, like a trailer on a flounder jig.
People use them as trailers. I use them on jig heads by themselves. And I actually use them mostly for bass fishing.
Really?
Yeah. Here, I'll show you. Let me show you this.
I think the time I went out with you, I went out with Billy at like the next week, and then I haven't been out since.
That's one.
It's like a regular hook.
That one was actually Texas rigged.
I'm gonna try and get out this week.
Is enough? Now see, is there enough plastic to Texas rig that?
For this one is. I mean, I use a Gamakatsu #1 G-lock.
Okay.
And you barely got enough.
Okay.
And this one's a lot easier. And I've caught a whole bunch of fish with that, but oh, there we go.
Feel that? It almost doesn't feel like plastic.
Those guys right there.
I'll throw some jerk bait, some jigs, see what's going on.
On this here, on squid strips.
Maybe something else that we were.
Wow.
They were. I don't know how they were using them.
I would do that.
These guys fish secret areas where people are not allowed to go, which is why they're at night.
Nighttime.
But yeah, the squid strips.
So I just picked these up. Nikko Next Generation Plastics. I'm gonna drop shot it, but I want them to tell you a little bit about it. I've never seen anything like this. So, go.
Hi, I'm Scott Barrett. I'm with Nikko Fishing. I'm going to talk to you about the Nikko plastics today. They are the most advanced plastics in the world that are used in soft baits today. They are biodegradable. They are scented. They're made of food and medical grade plastic. They are, or even the scent is food grade material. So if you go to a restaurant and you eat some stuff that's the same quality that's in these baits, there's absolutely nothing in these baits that you cannot put into your body. Now, the baits also float. They're very durable. The baits are going to save you a lot of money. They're going to save you space in your tackle box. They're going to save you trips to the store. When you go to the pond or you go to the lake or whatever, you don't have to carry a whole lot of packs with you. You just take one pack with you of Nikko products and you'll be good to go. I don't know what else to say real quick.
No, that worked.
All right.
That worked, and you did really good.
But look forward to seeing him in some videos in the future. Look forward to seeing more Nikko baits in the future. And man, I'm really excited about what these baits can bring to my fishing. So, and the package has Japanese writing all over it. How could you be mad about that?